Welcome to MTTC Elementary Education 103 Practice Test. Let's begin. Question 1. According to Piaget's theory of cognitive development, during which stage does a child typically develop the concept of object permanence? Here are your options. Option A. Sensoromotor stage. Option B. Preoperational stage. Option C. Concrete operational stage. Option D. Formal operational stage. The correct answer is option A. Sensoromotor stage. Explanation. The sensoromotor stage, birth to 2 years, is when children develop the understanding that objects continue to exist even when they cannot be seen. Question 2. Which of the following best describes formative assessment? Here are your options. Option A. A final exam at the end of a semester. Option B. A midterm project graded for a final portfolio. Option C. An ongoing evaluation used to guide instructional planning. Option D. A standardized test comparing students nationally. The correct answer is option C. An ongoing evaluation used to guide instructional planning. Explanation. Formative assessments are ongoing, informal checks for understanding used by teachers to adjust instruction during the learning process. Question 3. Under IDEA, an individualized education program, IEP, must be reviewed at least. Here are your options. Option A. Every 6 months. Option B. Annually. Option C. Every 2 years. Option D. Every 3 years. The correct answer is option B. Annually. Explanation. The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA, requires that a student's IEP be reviewed at least once a year by the IEP team. Question 4. Which instructional strategy is most closely associated with Vygotsky's zone of proximal development, ZPD? Here are your options. Option A. Rote memorization. Option B. Scaffolding. Option C. Independent study. Option D. Conditioning. The correct answer is option B. Scaffolding. Explanation. Scaffolding provides temporary support to a learner in their ZPD, allowing them to achieve higher levels of understanding than they could independently. Question 5. A teacher wants to improve reading comprehension in L students. Which strategy is most effective? Here are your options. Option A. Reading aloud rapidly to expose them to fluid speech. Option B. Using visual aids and graphic organizers during reading. Option C. Assigning longer reading passages for homework. Option D. Testing them daily on new vocabulary words. The correct answer is option B. Using visual aids and graphic organizers during reading. Explanation. Visual aids and graphic organizers help L students make connections and understand the structure of the text without relying solely on language skills. Question 6. Summative assessments are primarily designed to. Here are your options. Option A. Determine if students have met the learning objectives at the end of a unit. Option B. Provide daily feedback to students on their progress. Option C. Identify students who need special education services. Option D. Pre-assess prior knowledge before starting a new topic. The correct answer is option A. Determine if students have met the learning objectives at the end of a unit. Explanation. Summative assessments evaluate student learning at the end of an instructional period by comparing it against some standard or benchmark. Question 7. In Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which must be satisfied first before cognitive needs can be addressed? Here are your options. Option A. Self-actualization. Option B. Aesthetic needs. Option C. Physiological and safety needs. Option D. Esteem needs. The correct answer is option C. Physiological and safety needs. Explanation. Basic needs such as food, sleep, and safety must be met before a student can effectively focus on learning and cognitive development. Question 8. A student struggles to decode words and reads very slowly. Which area of literacy should the teacher focus on first? Here are your options. Option A. Reading comprehension. Option B. Phonemic awareness and phonics. Option C. Vocabulary acquisition. Option D. Literary analysis. The correct answer is option B. Phonemic awareness and phonics. Explanation. Decoding relies heavily on phonics and phonemic awareness, which are foundational skills required before fluency and comprehension can improve. Question 9. What is the primary purpose of differentiated instruction? Here are your options. Option A. To ensure all students learn at the same pace. Option B. To provide instruction tailored to the diverse needs of all learners. Option C. To group students permanently by ability level. Option D. To simplify the curriculum for struggling learners. The correct answer is option B. To provide instruction tailored to the diverse needs of all learners. Explanation. Differentiated instruction involves modifying content, process, or product to accommodate the different learning styles and readiness levels of students. Question 10. Which of the following is a key characteristic of cooperative learning? Here are your options. Option A. Students work independently on parallel tasks. Option B. Positive interdependence among group members. Option C. Competition for the highest grade in the group. Option D. Teacher-directed lectures dominating the lesson. The correct answer is option B. Positive interdependence among group members. Explanation. Cooperative learning requires positive interdependence, where students work together and rely on each other to achieve a common goal. Question 11. When designing a rubric for a project, what is the most important component to include? Here are your options. Option A. A long list of penalties for late submission. Option B. Clear descriptors for each level of performance. Option C. Subjective criteria to allow for flexible grading. Option D. A single overarching grade with no breakdown. The correct answer is option B. Clear descriptors for each level of performance. Explanation. A high-quality rubric includes clear, objective descriptors for different levels of performance so students know exactly what is expected. Question 12. Which theory posits that behavior is learned through observing, modeling, and imitating others? Here are your options. Option A. Constructivism. Option B. Social learning theory. Option C. Behaviorism. Option D. Cognitive theory. The correct answer is option B. Social learning theory. Explanation. Albert Bandura's social learning theory emphasizes that people learn from one another via observation, imitation, and modeling. Question 13. An effective classroom management strategy for transitioning between activities is. Here are your options. Option A. Waiting until students become too loud before intervening. Option B. Establishing clear routines and signals. Option C. Assigning extra homework for slow transitions. Option D. Ignoring off-task behavior entirely. The correct answer is option B. Establishing clear routines and signals. Explanation. Establishing and practicing clear routines minimizes lost instructional time and sets clear expectations for behavior during transitions. Question 14. Which of the following best defines phonological awareness? Here are your options. Option A. The ability to recognize the meaning of complex words. Option B. The ability to identify and manipulate parts of spoken language. Option C. The ability to read text accurately and quickly. Option D. The ability to spell words using phonetic rules. The correct answer is option B. The ability to identify and manipulate parts of spoken language. Explanation. Phonological awareness is an auditory skill that involves recognizing and manipulating sounds in spoken language, such as syllables and rhymes. Question 15. What is the main advantage of using a flipped classroom model? Here are your options. Option A. Students spend class time watching lectures. Option B. Students complete higher-order thinking tasks with teacher support in class. Option C. Teachers do not have to plan lessons as frequently. Option D. Students are entirely responsible for their own learning. The correct answer is option B. Students complete higher-order thinking tasks with teacher support in class. Explanation. In a flipped classroom, content delivery happens at home, example, via video, freeing up class time for interactive, applied learning with teacher guidance. Question 16. A teacher notices a student frequently squinting at the board. What is the most appropriate first step? Here are your options. Option A. Move the student to the front of the classroom and contact the parents or nurse. Option B. Immediately diagnose the student with myopia. Option C. Ignore it unless the student complains. Option D. Give the student larger print exams only. The correct answer is option A. Move the student to the front of the classroom and contact the parents or nurse. Explanation. Moving the student closer addresses the immediate need, while contacting parents or the school nurse initiates a professional vision screening. Question 17. Intrinsic motivation is best fostered by. Here are your options. Option A. Offering tangible rewards for good grades. Option B. Providing opportunities for autonomy and mastery. Option C. Threatening punishment for poor performance. Option D. Creating highly competitive class rankings. The correct answer is option B. Providing opportunities for autonomy and mastery. Explanation. Intrinsic motivation comes from within and is fostered when students feel autonomous, competent, and connected to the material. Question 18. Which of the following is considered an accommodation rather than a modification? Here are your options. Option A. Allowing a student extra time to complete a test. Option B. Reducing the number of concepts a student must learn. Option C. Lowering the reading level of the assigned text. Option D. Grading a student on a completely different standard. The correct answer is option A. Allowing a student extra time to complete a test. Explanation. Accommodations change how a student learns or is tested without changing the learning standard. Modifications change what a student is expected to learn. Question 19. What is the primary function of an exit ticket? Here are your options. Option A. To act as a pass for leaving the room. Option B. To assess student understanding of the day's lesson quickly. Option C. To assign homework for the evening. Option D. To record attendance. The correct answer is option B. To assess student understanding of the day's lesson quickly. Explanation. Exit tickets are quick formative assessments used at the end of a lesson to check student comprehension before they leave the class. Question 20. Which term refers to a student's belief in their ability to succeed in a specific situation? Here are your options. Option A. Self-esteem. Option B. Self-efficacy. Option C. Locus of control. Option D. Metacognition. The correct answer is option B. Self-efficacy. Explanation. Self-efficacy, a concept introduced by Albert Bandura, is the belief in one's own capabilities to organize and execute the courses of action required to manage prospective situations.